everyone, and welcome to Stream. We're all here. We're very excited. We are doing a special fundraising stream tonight in honor of Black History Month for the Black and Missing Foundation, um, an amazing charity that we'll get into a bit more, and also how you can impact the game in a second. But before we do that, let's let this cast of just awesome people say who they are. You can do like where we can find you. We'll review it again at the end if we're not emotionally broken. But yeah, Meadow, you're first on the overlay. Go for it.
Howdy, darlings. I'm Meadow, she, they pronouns. You can find me everywhere on the internet that matters at Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM. And tonight I am playing Shy.
Taylor.
Hey, I'm Taylor, aka Swanky Taylor. I'm a Black Variety content creator, she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Lily Pinbot.
Carrie.
Hey y'all, I'm Carrie, or Oathbreaker Carrie on the socials. He, him pronouns. I just make a variety of fantasy shit, and you can find me. I think there's a beacons that's going out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
If I was good at this, I'd be saying each one of your exclamation in chat. But I'm not good at this, and I realized that I made so many things for this, and one of them was not the charity link, so I'm actively adding that in right now.
All good, Sean. You're
Yep.
you're doing great. You're doing great. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, and I'm playing cool with a K.
And Yuri.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yudi. That is Y-U-R-I, pronouns she, they. Y'all can go ahead and find me at Yudi and the Beast just about everywhere. And I am playing Becca with two C's.
Thank you, Mayor, for being the best mod on the channel. It's actually not donate, it's charity, but I can change it to donate because that's probably what people do more often on Twitch. As I am singing, allow me to also tell you what tonight is. So tonight we'll be playing a game of Two Moons Rising. It is a TTRPG set in the Life is Strange universe by Hunters Entertainment and Square Enix. They made it. It's a pretty cool game. If you have played the most recent Life is Strange game, Life is Strange Double Exposure, this is a side story to that adventure. It tells the story of what happened in the podcast, doing their little vibes, and this is kind of going to be that story going out. It doesn't spoil anything for the main game, as far as I'm aware. The PDF didn't say it would, and people that have played the game kind of say it's its own little thing. So, no spoilers for Life is Strange Double Exposure here. But the way that it's going to work is that we are going to have each character, and this is also what's tying into the fundraising incentives because there was no easy way to explain this. Even the players who have seen the PDF look at the diagram and go, interesting. So each player is going to have their own independent dice pool based on how kind they are to the NPCs in the world or how much the NPCs in the world like them or dislike them, as well as each of their own stats for every roll. So if you see something that says add +1 die to a player's dice pool, that is for their own thing. So if you want to give Taylor +1 die forever, go ahead and redeem that and give it to Taylor. There's also a community pool that all of the players can pull from that is also dependent on how well they investigate, how well they interact, if they say or do the right things, or if they say or do the wrong things. It's also random chance, as if you roll ones in this game, you do poorly, but the community pool gets more dice, and if you roll sixes, you roll well, and you get your own extra dice. So a lot of moving part management, which is kind of why the simplified versions of the fundraising goals exist, to be explained about. But if you are interested in donating or just wondering what we're here supporting, we are supporting the Black and Missing Foundation, which is a foundation that was founded in 2008. It is a nonprofit, and it is primarily there set up by both community members and law enforcement to aid marginalized communities, especially Black communities, in knowing how to find resources if somebody goes missing, how to advocate for themselves if there is legal issues and stuff, or how to do social media management and stuff in forms of like getting out a notice poster. Because I think we've all kind of seen like missing posters where people are like, oh, I don't know if this is a real missing poster, if this is something someone came up with, or stuff like that. They do a lot of that kind of stuff to help people in the most marginalized group that are often not looked at the most when it comes to needing people to help find. The Black and Missing Foundation is a group that is going to be helping with that, and so that's what all donations for both this week and next week's things are going to be going for. In terms of that, tonight we will be playing chapters 1, 2, and 3. Time mattering. If we go really fast, we might get to 4. If we go really slow, we're probably going to run long because we can't do 4, 5, 6, and 3 next week. So we're going to try and get the first half of the mystery done tonight, the second half of the mystery done next week. And both weeks will be for the same thing. So if you use !donate, we'll pull up the Tiltify where you can donate. Some of the other incentives, in case you're wondering, you can compliment us. You can't tell us nice things unless you pay us. We've decided that for the night. You can also put yourself in the game. There are 5 unnamed NPCs that the DM guide is kind of like, hey, they exist. Use them at your whim. And I thought, what a fun thing to allow some of the chat members to donate for a good cause and end up in the game. There are 5 of them total, 4 remaining. Thank you, Gloria, for being our first donation and adding yourself to the game. So a little Gloria companion will be along on this adventure with you. I believe that is all of the housekeeping that I have in mind for today. And Meadow, if we get any donations, feel free to fully cut me off. And chat, if you make a donation and we don't catch it within like a minute or two, just yell at chat. Or tag me, or have Mare tag me, or we'll do something because we want to make sure that you guys are able to impact the game as soon as you donate. And we just know that sometimes it takes a bit. Tipsy Tiger, thank you so much for the hydrate. And after that, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. Here we go with the 2 moons rising. So, the story starts for all of you in the mountainous state of Wyoming. You all are traveling. You see endless skies. You see plains of blue clouds stretching out, blue skies with clouds stretching out endlessly. You're in the wilds. You are so far away from city that any sort of connection or community or even other people feel like a distant memory at the time. You can't help but feel connected to nature and the world because of the overwhelming sense of isolation for all of you and the people who are on this trip with you. You are all on an expedition to reconnect with nature and to kind of see what this new astral event is about. There's supposed to be from the top of the Devil's Tower a cosmic full moon that's going to be a blood moon that's rising. So the majority of people on this trip are either here because their parents made you, because school said, hey, if you want to graduate, you need to get some science credit, or because you're really into astronomy, are the primary reasons that the people around you are on the trip. But you all have your own reasons that you can decide for why you're on this trip here. As you're traveling on a crowded bus that was meant to be a small trip but has ended up already going over 2 hours, you look out at the sun-scorched grass beneath your feet, gentle breezes pulling past, and just even through the smell of bus, the smells of wildflowers are able to drift in, giving a calm scent to the air. And way off in the distance as you're approaching, there's an old Wyoming Forest Service radio tower, faded green and yellow, with paint covering old rough boards that frame it all up. It's a typical tower standing tall at the base of the trail up to the Devil's Tower. This is a hiking expedition, and you all are aware that in about an hour or so, you're going to have to do a pretty long and extensive walk. So, taking the time to enjoy the sights you've got. All of the majesty and the beauty in the world, however, cannot really save you from this situation, as each part of your Wilderness Challenge group for adults, called the Crossroads Youth Empowerment Collective, or Crossroads for short, is about self-empowerment, camping, and focusing on giving you all some like transformative experiences. Transformative, the term used by the 2 counselors who are leading this group, Miss Juanita Ramirez and Mr. Steven, or Stevie, who are your adult leaders throughout here. They're really, really kind. They're trying their best, but we've all had that like school professor or counselor who's really gung-ho about it, and the people attending this trip aren't always the most into those sorts of professors. Um, but as you look around, you would approach the old ranger station, exiting the bus, which has been for over a 2-hour ride. And I want each of you to tell me what you'd be experiencing or looking for or looking up at as you step off the bus for the start of your wilderness adventure. We can go in any order.
You would see
I think.
oh okay. You would see Becca walk off, and she has this like matching like tracksuit essentially. It's like Lululemon and that like lavender color and some really nice like Nikes or something like that. Um she's got like a little dainty gold chain like with some little dainty um like gold rings that she's surprised they actually like let her keep, but they made sure and check that um everything had clasps and nothing was sharp and all of those things that they do. And as she steps off, the first thing is she looks at the floor and realizes like it's all dirt.
Mhm.
And this is she wasn't supposed to get her shoes dirty because she doesn't have a way to like clean them properly, and she needs them to stay as clean as possible for as long as possible. um and so she kind of tiptoes her way to maybe like a grass patch or literally anything that isn't dirt. um as she's just looking down at her feet, realizes there's rocks and things too. Oh my god, was that a bug? As she just scurries over to a grass patch.
Beautiful. So, yes, first stepping off the bus, Becca, our prep, eager to be on the adventure until you realize what the adventure is. Meadow, would you like to go next?
Oh, sure. I think kind of stepping off the bus quickly, like in a very brisk movement, you see this girl with like a bob and a all the way buttoned up uh like collar very similar to this, but over the Crossroads t-shirt that they gave everyone, so that she's buttoned up even in the wilderness. She's got very appropriate boots that are clearly new and not broken in. And as she steps off the bus, she starts looking at the ranger station to see if it looks up to code, to see if they should be putting their safety in the hands of people who are not professionals, who have not read the manual like she has 3 times, and is just generally checking out the area.
Beautiful. Taylor or Carrie?
Do you want to go, Taylor? You want me?
You can go if you want to.
Okay, for sure. So Cool is slowly walking off the bus with very heavy footsteps, his combat boots just like smacking on each step as he's walking off. And he's gonna take his massive stretch, uh, not thinking about the person behind him who's about to be coming off the bus too. He's just kind of like pausing in front. There's like a big yawn. He just woke up from a nap. The bus ride was like a nice time to just get a nap. His headphones are in. He's listening to some music. Oh,
Ba-dum. Gloria, let's see, because you're coming through perfectly clear over here, so I don't
They said
understand why it
all.
would be doing this.
Yeah, we're all gone.
All sound was gone. Oh, I
Everyone's
think
gone?
we just came back.
Okay,
What?
fixed magically.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the trip
Thanks.
is haunted, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
God
What?
damn.
Okay, I'm like,
We haven't
literally, we
even.
did 2 sound checks, and everyone is showing in OBS and in Video Ninja. So I don't know what that was.
Speaks to ill tidings.
Twitch be
But yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Thanks.
Guys, I'm
Um,
scared.
cool. Yeah, it's not like this is a murder mystery that things are a little haunted and
You
strange.
you
What would that
you
be?
could say life is strange.
You could say life is strange. You could say this. Uh, Speaking of life being strange, Carrie, how about just for ease of everyone, we get a
Right.
recap of your character entry there. I don't want anyone to feel like they're missing out on cool.
No problem. Yeah, so I'll go for the top. Cool's coming off the bus, heavy, slow footsteps, clanking, combat boots. He's tired. He just woke up from a nap from the bus. He's already bored. He's looking around, taking his surroundings. What's going on? What are you about to get into? I didn't even want to come on this trip, but I'm here. Whatever. Got his headphones in, not really listening to the authority figures, the chaperones. He's just kind of like, all right, whatever. We're here. Um, and then what he's wearing, he's got a baggy leather jacket on, baggy black hoodie under that, and some baggy jeans, or baggy, I'll say cargo jeans. I'm gonna retcon it since y'all didn't hear it. Some baggy cargo jeans.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. He's looking cozy, but that's cool. With a
And
K.
before Taylor, your character, first off, thank you, Maz, so much for your donation.
Thanks,
Taylor,
Maz.
you have a permanent +1 to every roll you make. You get an extra
Woo!
die just added to your dice pool. Could this mean that by next week this game is extremely broken and you all are rolling like 18 d20 and not d20 d6? Yeah, it's for charity.
Break the
Uh,
game.
break the game. The other thing before we have before Lily would step off, and 5 community dice. Okay, cool. I didn't see that. 5 community dice. You would see that the person that steps off right behind Cool is a kid that's like pretty lanky. He's known throughout school for kind of always standing off to himself and never really hanging out. His name is Harleen Mitchell. Got really like sandy brown hair, very lanky. To some sort of you, he may be connected either through like an extracurricular activity if you went to school together, or if you've just like seen him around town. But he's really not someone you get to know. And as he steps off the bus, he kind of just like ducks out of the way of Cool's big stretch back into the arm with the practiced ease of somebody that's used to kind of not being noticed, and like goes off to the side where the most people are heading to like stand up together. Harlan seems to just go off on his lonesome to kind of stand in the corner and try to be as unperceived as possible in a field full of grass and wildflowers. Okay. And then yeah, what would Lily be doing as they step off?
Yeah, Lily stepping off, wearing like basically just shirt and then a brown skirt jumper. Like glasses with the chain on. She's like junk journaling right now. And then the bug that was crawling up Becca, she would go to it and pick up the bug and be like, hey, this is a rare, it's very rare. This is a rare type of like centipede. And yeah. And this is like, we're gonna take care of that and we're gonna put it over here on this leaf.
Perfect. The rest of the people that would be following you off are the people that have been on the bus with you. One of them's name is Heather McNamara. She seems like the kind of person that if there was an elected leader of, yes, I see lots of faces about Heather McNamara.
Well, welcome to my candy store, all right, but
Right? Like it's Heather's.
like,
Yeah, it's Heather McNamara.
the
The image is of the Heather. For anyone that knows the Heather, it looks like Heather McNamara. Um, if there was somehow an elected president of this trip, Heather McNamara would be the class president of this trip, of the Crossroads Expedition. Her hair is perfect. She is the model citizen and has everything she wants other than a respect for authority figures. Um, True to her form, almost rivaling that of Becca, stepping off with like the heel that has enough support that it's not going to break, but gives her an extra few inches of height. The poise that says, I have carried every bag in the world and my posture, and you cannot rival me. And just has the energy of exactly what she wants going on at all times. She's not someone that really has a veneer of respect, a veneer of I know what's going on, or really anything else that's happening. But she steps off after, followed shortly by someone named Gloria. They are someone that has beautifully long black hair. They've got a nice like weight that they carry in a very beautiful way, a big smile across their face. Oh, I'm just so happy to be here. Walking off into it. They don't really seem to be engaging with anyone. They just seem to be very focusing on saying hi to everyone. Gloria, I'm sorry. I'll get to your voice better later. You said you were leaving. I felt comfortable in my own space. Uh, Following Gloria is a young guy named Jimmy Sato. Uh, you would all know that he's a recent transfer from New York. His family has business in Japan, and he's moved here from there to New York. He's the kind that's always ready to help out. Whenever they're trying to take directions for the bus, he's saying whatever it is. Whenever the staff are like, "Yo, listen up," Jimmy is saying, "Yeah, everyone, we should listen to the counselors." Like he's here, and he wants you all to know that he's the good one. He's also new. The rest of these people would be people you've met from around town. Jimmy just kind of showed up. You're not really sure exactly where he came from. And then last to step off of the bus with an air of I'm here because I have to be, drawn on tattoos, fake piercings, and then like a half shaven head that's labeled as a town trouble teen, is someone you all know as Skidmark. They're an androgynous person who uses they them pronouns. They are non binary and they change their hair color every week to just reflect whatever mood that they're in. And they typically wear sunglasses inside. Officially stated, they look like they'd be close personal friends with Lou Reed or Post Malone. Uh, there are also four other people. Yes, their name is Skidmark. There are also four other people. Chad, if you want to also be getting off the bus, feel free to go to the place and donate the thing. Yeah, go to the Tiltify link and donate some money. And you can be one of the NPCs on this journey. I cannot guarantee you won't die. Anyway, as you step off, uh, you stand there looking up at this ranger station. Um, Miss Juanita is standing in front of everyone. She's a pleasant middle-aged woman with salt and pepper hair, and she's the first one to talk up and say, "Oh yeah, we gotta make sure that we got everything going on for you alls. So mingle amongst yourselves. The radio station is open. It's not safe-ish, but it's not safe. It's a good time to learn about safety and navigation. If you want to experience the things about the place that makes the crossroads so good, you can go over there." And then Mr. Stevie, with a much more excited approach, is like, "Oh, don't listen to Juanita. It's perfectly safe. I've been traveling here so many years in a row, and no one's ever had it come down on them. Why would it do it now?" And has a very perky smile that you see Jimmy immediately like stand with the same posture and imitate the smile here. That's a lot of character introduction. I want to know you all a bit more. What are your immediate thoughts? Who do you gravitate towards? It can be each other, it can be the NPCs. What do you want to try and do? Stuff like that.
Becca grabs, she zips up her lavender Lululemon sweater, because she looks around and it's just like a sea of yellow and no. And so she zips up her jacket so you can only really see the very top of her shirt. She does have a backpack with her and one of those extremely tiny designer purses that you're just like, what do you even put in there?
Mhm.
Um, and so she looks at the purse and she just sighs and hangs it on one of the straps for the backpack because she doesn't want to get that dirty. She considers it putting it inside of the backpack, but she's just like, no, I brought it. It's got to be seen, right? We'll put it in the backpack once we start and everybody has seen it. Okay. Um, and she looks around. I think she would probably um, gravitate oh my god. I forgot her name, but the other bitch.
Heather McNamara?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Heather. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you're looking to see Heather McNamara, aka the other bitch, the last like person who slept the entire bus ride, like kind of slinks off the bus, and you see a companion named Mare. Um, I'm glad you spread out your team last. Who is walking off, wearing just like a nice like black camp shirt and some pants. Looks around, is like, "Oh hey, yeah, I guess we made it. Like, I guess we're all here to do an adventure. What's up?" And you just see Mare wake up and walk into the scene from the bus. There are also three other people who are just around here. They don't have names. They seem to be clinging to themselves in the corner until they matter.
Me in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, as she's connecting her little baggie to the backpack, she slips out a little vape from the tiny baggie and like very like you know takes a
Mhm.
little puff and then puts it in there and just it's kind of like if I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna do it completely sober.
You see Heather walks up to you seeing this. It's like, I guess it's good that there's someone else cool here, and pulls out an even tinier purse with an even tinier vape and just takes a hit of it.
And then Lily would be like, "Wow, it smells like skunk in here. I wonder what's going on here."
No, they're obviously we wouldn't be caught dead smelling like skunk, so it's those that smell like
Like,
candy. Yeah, so
yeah.
it just
In the
smells like
middle of
somebody
the
opened
woods where
up a
there's
bag of
nothing else.
candy.
Wow,
Yeah.
Starbursts.
Like candy.
Does anybody have some?
There's Starburst flowers.
Oh, there's Starburst flowers.
Yeah. You would see Glory goes,
Probably.
"Oh, I brought Starburst. You need Starburst?"
I love Starburst.
Nice.
I
So
want
there's
to go
Starburst
straight
flowers.
into the ranger station.
Okay. Yeah. Um so walking into the station, content warning for people in chat. There is a content warning. Feel free to type exclamation mark CW if you are someone who has arachnophobia or a general dislike of spiders. The ranger station, not somewhere you're really gonna want to be experiencing. So just heads up to anyone that has arachnophobia. As you walk up, Cheyenne, you'd see that the ranger station is very much like it was like described from the thing you can see up. But even closer, it's got worse for wear for it. Like the things that looked kind of remotely stable are kind of remotely unstable. The like building itself has a door on a frame, but is a frame straight up? Not at all. It's clearly been
Just
here
as I
for ages.
suspected.
And while not entirely abandoned, it hasn't been touched for at least a year and has a pretty good chance of being doubled as a spider factory. It has an overhang porch that runs the perimeter of the entire square building, and it sits up on a huge log post about 3 feet off the ground. Uh, thick overgrowth fills um, thick overgrowth fills the underside of it, and it looks like it hasn't been landscaped in several years. The sign on the door reads Wyoming State Rangers Radio Station, no trespassing.
No trespassing?
That's what the sign on the door says. You also know that Mr. Stevie has been here several times. So, to the
Yeah.
extent that that
That's
is believed, is whatever.
okay. I think because it looks so decrepit, I
Mhm.
do think Shy would be very interested in pointing out and writing down everything that is not up to code in here, and she wants to turn it into like like she's gonna mail a complaint. So she's going around every corner and it's like, I think possibly wood wasp or termite damage here. I can't imagine that these windows open just as I thought. No easy escape if fire breaks out. Again, there's no one else in here with her, but she's speaking out loud and writing all of this down. And then, yeah, she would go toward the place that it says no one's allowed to because she needs to make a thorough report
Mhm.
of what's
Uh,
going on.
sure. While you're also doing your thorough report of the exterior, outside on the back door, there's a generator that seems to be next to a locked metal footlocker. Inside of it, it's like one of those like lockers that like has like a metal grate that you can see into.
Yeah.
It has a padlock, and you wouldn't know the combination, but there appears to be a few gallons of gasoline, a bunch of old tools, and some oil. Also, on the back of the house is a poorly maintained outhouse outside the back of the ranger station. Cool and Lily, what would you both be doing in this time?
Meadow,
Anyone you're talking with?
Meadow and me, just totally not really quick writing everything down.
You got it. This is a game where notes are going to matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, can Lily follow Shy?
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want it to follow. I think she'd get mesmerized by the spiders on the Rangers station at first, and be like, "Oh, these are very like very rare. Oh, I haven't seen these in a while. Oh, this one only has like 6 legs." She's like talking to herself outside, so you probably hear like an echo of her outside, just talking
Mhm.
about the spiders.
Nice. And Cool, what do you think you're up to?
I would say cool would probably Miss Winnie said, follow the rules, and a sign that says "Do not enter" would absolutely entice Cool. So he's gonna go over to that "Do not enter" sign. He's also gonna put on he not sponsored, so I'm gonna call them J Band sunglasses, and he's just gonna
Okay.
like put those on real quick,
Not the J bands.
and
Puts on a
just
pair of J-bands.
yeah, just mosey on over, but not like he's eager to go. He's just kind of like slowly strolling.
I think
As you
Lil,
put on a pair of sunglasses to enter inside of a building, you see Skidmark give you like the guy nod of like, as you put on your sunglasses to walk inside, as they pull this move every chance they get.
So
So
no words, just the
Yep.
just that thought.
Yeah. Yes. I'll also say for that, go ahead and take a memento for your personal pull carry, gifted to you by Skidmark. So you have an additional die that you can hold onto for your personal set. You can use it as a thing, or you can try and like spend it to influence some character situations. There will also be times that if situations are going wrong, you can spend your memento to save it. So it's not always in your best interest to use all of them for dice rolls because sometimes you really need them to like save a conversation. But go ahead and hold that. And I'll mark that you have a +1 with Skidmark.
Thank you, Skidmark.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Before we do team fully investigate the decrepit inside of Spider House, uh, do we got anything that Becca is doing with Heather McNamara, or are you engaging with any of the other counselors? Are you checking in on Hayden, or are you just like I'm here living my life?
Yeah, I think when Heather pulls out the tinier vape and the tinier
Mhm.
purse, there's this kind of sense of it's not really competition, it's just like, ah, my people type of feeling as they both kind of like take like a tiny puff so it doesn't really make smoke and hide it in their tiny purses. Um I think she would want to look around to see like does it look, because her first thought goes to like slasher we're all
Mhm.
gonna die type of movies, because the woods, she's never really been in them, she was made to come here for that
Mhm.
reason, and all she really knows of the woods are all the scary movies, and so she looks around to see, is there any sign of friggin' life around here besides the
Yeah.
decrepit tower?
So there's a bunch of life around here. There's not a bunch of human life around here. So as you look around, there's the forest on the edge. Ooh, LB, thank you for the donation. One to everyone. Yes. Meadow, is it one die to everyone?
It says one for everyone, even the GM. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Then yeah, everyone add an additional +1 to your permanent dice pools. I don't roll anything in
Yeah.
this game, so I'll add it to the
I'll
community
take yours.
pool.
It's fine.
I'll add it to the community
Oh,
pool because that way, like, anyone that needs it can use it. Um, +1 to the community
absolutely.
pool. Thank you so much for the donation. But yeah, looking for signs of life, you'd see that not that far in front of you is the like edge of the forest that you will all soon be hiking through. You will know that throughout there seems to just be like the not that your eye is trained for this, but like part of like Crossroads camp survival training is pointing out how to look for animal marks, how to look for things. Um, so you can tell that there are like plains animals such as like deer or like some coyotes, stuff like that, that would be living somewhere in here But the stuff that's like out by where you're at currently is like butterflies, prairie dogs, small Wyoming things. If it were a couple centuries back, probably some bison and buffalo, but not today. As you're just kind of looking around, the biggest thing that your eye would be drawn to, other than the Ranger Tower, is the Devil's Tower, which is a large stone structure monument. It's like a naturally occurring mountain that seems to have had the top completely shaved off of it. So the top is like a flat plinth of a giant mountain that's off in the distance. It's where you all are hiking to, and you hope to be there by the end of the day. Other than this ranger tower, though, human life seems
Yeah,
sparse, if anything. Mhm.
she looks at where they are, and she looks at where they're gonna end up. And then she looks at the expanse of actual forest in between.
Mhm.
And she walks up to where the counselors are.
Mhm.
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah?
So, like, we're actually gonna go, like, through the forest?
Unless you got
Is
a
that
helicopter, it's not like we can get to the top without walking.
right, right. See, like, my only, like, concern, besides the fact that it's, like, disgusting in there, is, like, if an animal, right, decides it's, like, I don't know, hungry, um, none of you look like you can fight, like, no offense.
Uh, I mean, yeah, but like, we'll be fine. And like, they hold up the bags that they're actively offloading off the bus. There is a the really disgusting mustard yellow bag for each one of you, full of like tents and flashlight batteries and stuff like that. And takes out like the smallest pocket knife they would trust you all with, and be like, "If anything's coming for you, all are each armed with your own personal defense item."
She's, like like, a small, like, shocked couple seconds.
Uh,
Um, yeah, if we get attacked by, like, a mouse, maybe. Um, so, like, anything bigger, though? Like, really? Nothing at all?
well, everything in the area is going to be more afraid of you than you are of it, and they don't like sound. And as long as we all
Yeah, I
travel together,
highly
it'll
doubt
be
that.
fine. Oh, are you not a brave wilderness explorer on your crossroads adventure?
No. Um, but yeah, forget it. And she goes to back to where she has her purse,
Hmm.
and she opens it, and she realizes that she forgot her pepper spray, and she starts, like, inwardly freaking out a little bit.
Okay. Cool. You would see just as you're looking around, Jimmy Sato appears to be spending as much time close to the two counselors as he can. Um, Skidmark is over by the other three, by the abandoned Ranger Tower. Harlan is still kind of off by himself, and then Gloria and Mare are sitting together having a conversation. Um, that's kind of just like the lay of the people around you. Back to the people at the station. Um, Lily, if you're following the trail of spiders, uh, there would definitely be like a big draw towards that outhouse. Like if the ranger station is a potential spider factory, that outhouse is like ground zero for Spider Town. So that could be somewhere you investigate and look out for.
Hell yeah.
Cheyenne, are you following Cool and Skidmark inside, or are you still doing an external look?
No, I think that my external notes are as well thought out as they're going to get for now. I need more information. And now that there are two ne'er-dwells trying to sneak into the don't come in here area, I have scapegoats to say that I was just in here to come get them. So absolutely, I'm following behind to let them take the fall just in case.
Perfect. Then Lily, what are you doing outside?
I think Lily like will keep in check of the outhouse, but she's gonna follow everybody else inside
Okay, cool.
all together
So
now.
so then Cool and Skidmark, the two of you are leading the way into this abandoned building. Um, as you go inside, the inside of the building is not much better. It's covered in dust, covered in cobwebs, and it's adorned with a single table with three functioning chairs. Um, on the desk is an old ham radio with multiple transceivers and sources of confusing looking buttons and wires. There's a large blue notebook with emergency services written across it. There are also massive white metal boxes on the walls with the words first aid. Uh, Even in the time it was painted, it was poorly painted. Now it is like chipped and faded away, but at the time it still would not have been good. Um, and you can see that they are full of medical supplies and a wooden stretcher for straps in case anyone needed to be carried out were they to be wounded.
I said, cool. It's gonna walk into the shed and take a look at that safety notebook.
Okay, yeah. When you look through it, um, you pick up, you look into it, and you would see that it's a safety notebook about how to operate the radio and like the codes and stuff to call out for it. You also see that a small business card falls out of it between it's like stacks of paper on local radio frequencies for the emergency services, and a small little notebook falls out. I will put it here in our chat, and then it will also show up on stream. Hooray!
Ooh.
Because I did the work to make this interactive, chat. That's
Ah,
right, we did it. So for chat, this is what the not chat, for players, this is what it looks like here. For chat up on screen, I'll put it large for a second. You would see this business card for Ranger Kimberly Vaughn. Seems to be in town, and there seems to be some sort of like handwritten code down in the bottom right corner. And then chat, for those of you watching along at home, the big clues are going to go small and are going to go on our board. This little cork board here is all of the clues that the players have collected throughout the game and can help influence what ending they get. So the more clues they find, the better chance they have of not being terminated. Yeah, it is almost like a red string board, except I don't have the time to operate red string. Uh, so you would find that, and you would see that like weird code down on the bottom as well.
Cool. Cool's gonna taking that information, just like look around, and be like, uh, so it's like instructions for like this. I guess this is like a radio. Y'all know radios.
yeah.
Okay, for sure, for sure. Okay, so this is like how to work it. Uh, and this like card for an officer. I don't call cops, but you look like you might. And he hands it to Shy.
Oh, perfect. And I'm going to pin this to the top of my planner. Perfect. Let me color code this. Does anyone have a highlighter? Oh,
I
just kidding.
do.
I have 3.
Okay.
Thanks. And then she's going to go, okay, well, this is clearly a treacherous journey that we're on that we might need to call our lovely Kimberly Vaughn on. So let me check in there. And she's going to look through the first aid boxes to see if there's anything she can take with her on the trip.
Sure. A lot of it, much to your concern, is
Uh-oh.
aged. The band-aids could work, however, the grip isn't quite there. The gauze is still stretchy, but it's that thing of like when you pick up an old fabric and stretch it the first time, it kind of gets sandy and grainy. It's enough
Yeah.
that if someone were to need emergency first aid, you could stop a wound or you could like bandage an arm or make a splint or something. It's not necessarily gonna be the best. But
Gotcha.
as someone who is a survivalist and ready to make sure everyone is safe for everything, it might pique your interest to take with you. Um,
Yeah.
Becca, I do think you'd walk in on the line. Does anyone have a highlighter? Oh, don't worry, I have 3. I think is when you would enter the scene.
Yeah, I think I would have decided kind of like, oh, it's a ranger tower, still on the whole like animals wilderness thing. And it's like, well, if there might be something I can protect myself with in there. And so she starts kind of walking in to see if there is like, I don't know, any sort of self defense thing, a weapon, literally anything. Because everything she's read about wild animals is like terrifying, right? And yeah, she walks into the highlighter comment and just immediately regrets her decision to come in here. Um but it'd be weird if she just walks out now. So she's just gonna go in and start like rummaging to see if she finds anything she can use.
Hi, Becca.
Hi. She just keeps rummaging.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Do
As
any
you're
of y'all want
rummaging,
like the receivers here? There's like four, but there's five of us. But like, I don't know if you want to like stay in touch. I guess I don't know.
That is a good plan.
Becca's very pointedly like half like ignoring all of you. She's like, the faster I find what I'm looking for, the faster I can get out of here.
And
Because
make
she
sure.
doesn't trust. She looks and notices. When you said hi to her, she had, turned to look at you, and she looks and notices that Cool and Skidmark were also in there behind you guys, and she's just kind of like, no, I don't want to get involved in anything that they're doing. So she just looks faster.
Then Lily be like, make sure you guys put your socks over your pants because you don't want the bugs to get in your shoes and stuff. We can't kill them. They have to help out nature.
Word. But did y'all not wear boots? Like I got combat boots on. Like we're
Oh,
outside.
boots. I got my not Timberland, the Timberlands.
You see, when you say that, like Becca's eyes go wide, like, oh my god. And she starts immediately putting her socks over the ends of her pants.
lovely. As you're looking, can you make us the first roll of the day? So you've got a character sheet in front of you. Do you want to tell the audience what the stats are?
Mhm. Yes,
Hmm?
the stats are. Totally was here the whole time. I'm
I can
prepared.
do it if you want.
I've already pulled it up. So we have four stats in this game. The stats are cred, cool, hope, and beef.
Yep. So
Now,
cred
what am
is
I
a
rolling?
measure of your social bearing and your leverage. Cool is your outward projection of personality, confidence, and inner calm. Hope is your spirit and intellect, and beef is your character's physical presence and stamina. So this would be a hope roll to like look around and know what you're going for. Ooh, that's a fun phrase. How many die do you start with in hope?
Two.
Okay. And then
Okay.
you have an additional +1 that has been granted you by chat. And the
I
community
do.
pool currently has 3 dice, one from chat and 2 from positive interactions with NPCs so far. So if you wanted to steal any from the community pool, you can take as many as you want, up to 3. If you want to just roll yours, you're good to go. While you're considering that, I'll also explain to chat how the rule system works. So this game depends on the amount of dice you roll and the amount of challenge rating. So if you get a number for the challenge, like here, looking around for something you can 5 is going to be a 5 or a 6 will succeed, because if there is something in here, there's a likelihood it's probably already pretty old and bad. So like typically it would be a 4, 5, or a 6 for a simple task, a 5 or a 6 for a complex task, and then a 6 for a monumental task. On top of it being different levels of success, it also depends on how many successes you get for how well you do. So a 0 is if you get 0 successes. So in this case, 0 5s or 6s, you fail fully. If you get 1 or 2 5s or 6s, it's successful, but with a bit of a minor complication. If you get 3 or more, it works. Nice job. If you manage to somehow get 6 or more successes, you would have what's called a perfect success, in which you're extremely successful and you get an additional benefit, and you also gain a memento for the community bank. So that's kind of why giving everyone as many dice as they want super broken, because they could always be rolling to get 6 successes. And actually, I lied. I forgot to include Maz's number. There are 8 dice in the community pool. So Yuri, if you wanted to take an extra couple, you could. Um, that's also chat why, if you wanted to donate, you can do the donation of success, which would just give them that automatic perfect success of 6 or more successes. Maz, I wrote it down and they all got theirs. I just forgot to put it on the other one. Don't at me. I mean, please at me, because I'm doing this for everything, but don't at me. So Yuri, how many 5s or 6s did you get, and also how many 1s did you get? You're on mute.
Thank you. I ended up taking 2 dice from the community pool, so I rolled a
Okay.
total of 5 dice. Out of all of those, I got 1 1, which I know
Okay,
does something.
it
A
does.
2,
Okay.
2 5s, and a 6.
Okay, so the 6 is a permanent success. It cannot be messed with. So on that 6, you have it, and let's see for so on the 6, you gain a one of your own personal mementos. So go ahead and give yourself a memento point, which can be the die or can be used to wager things. The 1, however, negates one of your 5s, but it adds a memento to the community bank. So
Okay.
ones negate
So
successes, except for 6s, which cannot be negated. There are there are so many levels to these dice rolls,
therefore,
friends.
instead of 3 successes, because of that 1, I only have 2 successes.
Correct.
I get a dice thanks to my 6, and I use 2 from the community pool,
Hmm.
but I get to add 1 back to it
Correct.
again
Yep.
because of my dice roll. Got it. So now we had 6, we have 7.
Perfect. Exactly. Yep. Okay. And so on to successes, looking around for any sort of thing you can use. There are no real like blunt objects or anything. You would see the tools in the back that if you have the code for, you could probably use like some of those like spades as a more intense thing than the little pocket knife you've seen you'll be getting. You would also find a flare that not the most offensive, but definitely a great defensive tool to have.
Okay, well, she's super paranoid, so she would take the flare.
Cool. And on that minor complication, we'll say that the flare is like behind just a wall of webbing. Like, in order to get it, you're gonna have to
Oh,
just reach your hand right in and grab it.
oh no. Okay. Oh no. She turns around and looks at everybody else. Hey guys. Yeah, what's up? Is anybody here like not scared of spiders? Not that I'm scared of
I
spiders, but
point at Lily.
right. You were the one that got like that little critter earlier, right?
Yeah,
That's
so a
you?
thousand legs.
Right. What? Never mind. Um, yeah, I remember that. That was very nice of you. Thank you so much for that. It
Course.
was entirely too close to comfort. So, can you like do me a huge favor because I kind of don't really trust the counselors out there to just in case something goes wrong. There is a thing behind that big web over there
Okay.
um, that I wanted to see if you could grab for me, please. Please.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
honored that you trust me to do such a big task. Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Nice.
And she'll just like take a couple steps back in case anything jumps out because she doesn't know how spiders work.
Uh, doesn't know how spiders work. I love that.
Some of them
Uh,
jump, okay? She
Some of them
can't
they
can
tell.
do.
fly.
They do. That is very true.
That's all
Uh,
she needs.
nice. Uh, yeah. And Lily, are you just grabbing it for her?
Yeah, do I need to roll? Mhm.
Nope. Yeah, you are able to just do that. The only times that rolls really need to like happen here is for like kind of like the Life is Strange, like the butterfly in the corner of like this will happen. It won't be rolling as much as it would in like D&D or a like Glitter Hearts or any other like typical TTRPG. Partially because the dice rolls are so complicated. If we were just always doing complicated dice rolls, it would be strange. But more so, it's in moments where you choose to find something or not, or you choose to engage in something or not. It's less about when you randomly interact with the world. So no, as long as you're not against it, you are able to reach right on in and
Mhm.
grab it.
Yep.
The other thing that would be happening in this moment is Cheyenne, as Cool is giving you that card, you would ping that the weird code written on the bottom is the same amount of digits um, as the lock on the locker outside. Cheyenne.
Oh, me.
Yes.
Me, I was like, wow, that is the tea. Somebody better do something. Okay. Wonderful. I wrote down that there was a padlock that I didn't have the numbers for. So if I can make that connection at all, I would be looking around to take someone with me. I'd probably look at Skidmark and Cool just like as a unit because they're both wearing sunglasses. So to me, they're both like you...
That's
Same
the one
person?
Greenfield
Is
game.
that what you were gonna say?
They're both, so Shy would go, oh my goodness. Egads. Okay, I think I figured out something. And if someone wants to see something really cool and extra forbidden, as she looks at like Skidmark and Cool, then come with me to break into a locked locker.
Yeah, for sure. What you said forbidden?
Super forbidden. Well, because it's locked, so like it's assumed. It's kind of an implied law of common sense to not open things that are locked. But I think we should.
Bet. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with that for sure.
Great. And she's going to like write down Cool says yes, and is going to head around outside with that business card in hand. Like, I wonder if these are in the right order. I wonder if I'm going to have to scramble it. She's getting excited because she did not expect there to be puzzles in the woods. So now she's geeked. Now she's hyped.
We do have an ad break happening now, chat, if you can still hear me. It'll be 3 minutes. We typically pause for the ads, but due to the chapters, we are going to continue through them tonight. But we won't have any big story moments happen during the ads. So don't worry. We will be conscious of the fact that I don't ask people to pay to watch this channel. Because, But yeah, you head on out, and you see in there as you open it that the tools here, while not necessarily used, haven't been like worn down in the same way because of the way that this locker is behind the building and like at the cliff base. The wind can't hit it as much, so any of the tools you wanted to take with you would make a lot of sense to have. They are still very old, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. It would have a couple of spades. It would have
What tools are in there?
a couple of spades, a set of pliers, and then a set of screwdrivers.
Okay.
As well as the gallons of gasoline and oil.
So you've mentioned that twice now. I think Shy looks at Cool after she just kind of like gives him the code to put in, and once it pops open, she goes, "Oh, not nearly as exciting as I thought that was going to be. Want to split it half and half? You take a spade, I take a spade. You take a screwdriver, I take a screwdriver."
Yeah, I'm down. That's cool. I appreciate it. It's very thoughtful.
We also have a hydrate and a stretch, so go ahead and give yourselves a little self-care moment while we are experiencing.
You guys are running me ragged.
It's a little crazy here.
Also, while they went outside to do this, and we see her get handed my brain flare.
Yes.
Sorry. We see her get handed the flare. She just goes, "Wait, do you know how this works?" And the whole time that they're outside, like opening the locker, I'm having her attempt to explain to me how this works. She's only ever seen it in movies.
Her being Lily, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Lily explained it. It's like, yeah, so most times like when time is, you would shoot up in the air and it becomes like a big old light. And I was like, it's like, yeah, but yeah, one time use is a big thing. So be very, 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 very careful for that.
She'll put
then
it
yeah,
away.
after
With
a couple.
Oh,
no, you go.
I'm just curious. Is it possible now that we've kind of like divvied up the treasure that I close it, lock it back, and I would like to take a look at these gallons of oil. This is extremely unsafe. This is old wood. It's dry wood. This is going to be really bad. Is it possible that she could like drag these away like to a safe distance so that they're not leaning
Yeah.
up against the ranger
So
station?
it was already in this metal locker, so it's not necessarily leaning up against it.
Oh,
It's kind
okay.
of like how you can take like those red gasoline containers to like fill up at a gas station or something, and then like the like bottled gallons of oil that you put in your car. You'd assume they're
Yeah.
here for the generator next to the locker in case you needed to power up the station in any way. They're not hard to move. They're all able to be moved by hand if you wanted to take them away from the ranger station.
Unfortunately, my girly has a specific trauma with fire. So yes, she's going to like pull them away far, like all the way out by the outhouse,
Okay.
and then go, okay, that should be so much better. Also, if you tell anyone about this, I will know that it's you. And as she's looking at Cool.
And
You
Skidmark,
think
who's
I
still behind you,
should?
just going like, yeah.
I give Skidmark a pair of pliers and I'm like, and that's for you. Shh.
Man, a minute words.
Dude, I aim to be so unbothered.
Around this time, you'd all hear the commotion of the campers, your fellow teammates, all being brought in together. The counselors seem to be taking a head count and looking around for um, just head counts, and they see that you all are off, and you see one of them start waving to you to try and bring you back over. As Mr. Mira seems to have finished offloading the bus and seems to be ready to embark you all on your adventure.
Is everybody here?
Yes, if you all head back, everyone would be at the bus, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. As you get there, Mr. Steve is like, okay, let's count up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the other 5. Good, we're all accounted for. How nice. Are we all ready to shout crossroads before our adventure today? Because we need a bit of team spirit for everyone to be going together. So on the count of 3, we'll say crossroads. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Crossroads. Oh,
Crossroads. Roads.
Hey, yeah. When you both start, the others go, yeah, crossroads. Um, and the,
Becca mouths the
yeah,
word, doesn't actually say anything.
Cool doesn't say
Rebecca.
a word.
Yeah, good,
Equals their
good for cool.
daggers.
this
Yeah,
is
and
ridiculous. I can't be the only one showing spirit in here.
and Mr. CB then like sees that you all does it, pumps his hand in there, is like, yeah, let's go. It comes off as extremely corny and mildly cringy and creepy. Like, who's got this much adventure to lead some teens into the woods? Like, what the hell, Mr. Stevie? Um, Other than that, you see Miss Ramirez like getting questions answered. So people being like, do we need anything? And like, oh yeah, and each of you are handed one of these yellow bags. Again, they're an ugly yellow mustard, but Miss Ramirez is very happy to be handing them out. So inside, you're gonna find everything you need. You're gonna have a tent. You're gonna have Where's it at? You're gonna have a tent. You're gonna have a sleeping bag. You're gonna have some emergency rations. So if you go hungry, don't snack on them. They're only for if we run out of food and can't find our way back. It won't happen, but you never know. You always gotta be prepared when you're a Crossroads friend member. We also have in there some rope. We've got some water canteens. Only drink the water when you need to, because again, what if we got lost and we don't want to drink too much water? We gotta have it. And we've also got everyone your handy safety pocket knife. They'll keep you safe as long as you're safe with them.
Whatever small comfort finding the flare had brought Becca, it's gone.
Mhm,
She's freaking
mhm.
out again.
You would also see as Mr. Stevie hefts a second bag that he has a bag full of a bunch of camera equipment and a very large telescope, um, which wouldn't strike you all as too odd because it is an astronomy trip. But strange that he's using an entire second bag to walk off. Thank you, Mayor, for giving our out of game players some in game water. Yeah. Anything else you'd all be doing, or anyone you'd want to try and talk to before setting off into chapter 2? Okay. Then Oh yeah, go ahead.
This is a bad idea. But I would like to oh no.
Oh,
I
yes.
would like to attempt to talk to Harlan Mitchell
Okay. Yeah.
because I think
Mhm.
Harlan would be able to handle himself with a spade. So I'm trying to like slowly arm everyone in our group because I know these pocket knives are not they're just not it. So I'd like to kind of like make sure I'm not sneaking up on him or like just
Mhm.
sidling up. I want to make eye contact with him first, give a
Mhm.
nod, and if there is like kind of like suss out the vibe, and if there is
Mhm.
any inch of like okay, I won't punch you if you talk to me, then I'd go over
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, no indication of I will punch you if you talk to me, more an indication of if someone talks to me, I'm probably gonna get punched. Um, Seems a lot more defeatist than standoffish because of their life experience. Uh, and he sees you approaching and he's like, What do you want?"
Hi, I'm shy. I'm not shy. That's just my name. I
Was that a
found
joke because you imagine I'm shy?
no. Are you?
No, but nobody talks to me, so everyone thinks I am.
Oh, well, I'm talking to you, and I have made no preemptive assumptions because that is the fastest way to be wrong about a person. I did, however, bring you this that I found because we all know those pocket knives aren't going to work. So, just in case you need something a little larger, this is for you. And also, I packed everyone's sandwiches because we also know those rations are shitty and made for astronauts who have been starving in space for months. So, please take these and just be well. Everything's going to be fine. Sorry that we're all stuck out here.
Uh, Does cool. Nice. Thank you. And pockets them. And as you do, you see like something in his bag seems to like fall out. Before it can hit the ground, he grabs it and shoves it back in. Seems to be some weird little piece of paper, a very colorful piece of paper for something. But for interacting with Harlan, you gain a memento yourself, and the community pool gains one. So we are up to 8 once more on our community pool, and
Yeehaw.
Shy gains a memento for talking to Harlan.
Yeah, I leave
Yeah.
him alone after that. I just wanted to
Okay.
give him that so that he has it.
Mhm. Yeah. Wonderful. Cool. Anything else anyone wants to do for this chapter?
Cole's gonna lean to Skid Mark. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Let's be like, yo, uh, you know anything about like forests and shit?
Um, yeah, like if you go like inside, there's trees and stuff,
For sure.
and then like there's a lot of like murder mystery podcasts that have been written about people's bodies found in trees,
That's what's
and
up.
like it'd be pretty fucking cool if like not us because we don't want to die, but like if we found a
Bet.
body and then we got to like write a podcast. I'm not
Dude,
for it, but I'm sure some of the nerds here aren't against it. And then
I've
like
been
maybe we could
telling people
guest so that we don't need to be like credited, but like we're still there.
for sure. I've been telling people like there's not enough podcasts, bro. Like there's not enough. You know what I mean? Like we need more. But you know, I like the way you think, bro. I mean, you got the sunglasses and like you got a good mind, dude. You got a good mind.
Yeah, what brought you on the trip?
I just don't want to be in school, man. They're like, I'm not worried about Pythagorean, man. I'm just trying to get outside. You know what I mean? I'm just kick it. You know, this is life. You know, being outside. I'm not like
Yeah.
a ranger or nothing, but like it's better out here than in there. You know?
Yeah. And there's like people have thoughts and it's like, yo, why have thoughts when you could just have vibes?
Exactly, dude. That's
But
what
too
I've been.
many people think that vibes is like vibes, but nah, vibes is vibes and not
Vibes is
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. For sure. Yep.
Anyway,
For,
this is the most I've talked to anyone in like a week. I'm gonna go stand over there now.
for sure, dude.
Cool.
Peace.
And yep.
I'm just gonna like nod his head and just go off.
uh cool. Can you make a cool check for me?
For sure.
We'll check for cool.
Cool check for cool. Um all right, so I have what should we call it? I have 4 in my cool stat, so I'll be rolling 4 die just to confirm.
Yep, unless you want to use any of your mementos to gain anything for that, or steal anything from the
We
community pool.
also all have a +1, so you'd
Right.
roll 5
Yeah, it's
dice,
just
Right.
and then whatever you want to take from the community pool, if any.
I'm gonna leave the community pool alone. I'll just roll with these current 5. That
And for
feels
this,
right.
anything of a 4 or higher would work.
Okay, I got a 2, 5, 3, another 2, and a 4.
Okay. Yeah, you seem like they seem to like enjoy your presence, but they don't really open up to you anymore.
Shout out to Skid Mark.
Yeah, Becca would go up to Heather,
Mhm.
just because they'd probably, when everybody kind of starts walking, or lines up to start walking, they'd probably stand next to each other.
Mhm.
Because there's like this unspoken kind of like, if my vape runs out, we can both hit yours. If yours runs out, we can both hit mine type of, like in the eyes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Without
Yeah.
saying anything. Um, she'd just be like, so did because I'm gonna just make it canon that our dads are friends.
Okay.
So did your dad also send you here? Or did you actually come like through like your own decision?
So, if we're making it canon that your dads are friends, you can know enough about her that she feels comfortable sharing this sort of thing. So you know, last term, how we kind of made Heather 2 and 3 like make that new girl do all of my homework for me, and then
Oh
like there was
yeah.
that whole weird thing about like someone trying to like attack the school, but instead we all just got slushies in the end.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
So like my parents kind of found out that if I was just nicer, there wouldn't have been a potential attack at the school. And so I'm just out here like kind of paying the price. And also my mom wanted to go to Europe and my dad wanted to take his mistress to Japan and they didn't want to get me a babysitter. So
Ugh,
here we
so
are.
now you're stuck here.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of similar. So, like, that whole fiasco happened, right? I couldn't find a girl to do my homework.
Mhm.
Because like you got the last one, but like, yeah, you, right? And so I like almost flunked, but I didn't. Because I actually had to sort of try the last couple weeks. But point being, they said that I needed this for like the extra credit or something. So now here I am.
Did
Okay.
you bring like a backup cartridge or are we gonna like have to like pace ourselves?
I think. ugh, I think we're gonna have to pace ourselves.
No, that's why you're not a Heather and pulls out a backup cartridge.
Oh my god. That's why you're the greatest.
No. Anyway, we're definitely like not walking at the front, right?
Oh, no. Ew, that's where
Okay.
like all those people are gonna get the bugs in their faces, so we stand
Yeah,
behind
like
them.
Spider Nerd seems to be so excited for that. Like, well, let Spider Nerd
Yeah.
go first.
Yeah, they can
Lily,
walk up
speaking of
front.
Spider Nerd,
This
what's Lily
spider
up to?
has 5 legs and very exciting. I think she's who else is around? Who else is like a named?
I
Jimmy is
love
around. Jimmy seems the most excited. Harlan is still kind of standing up, and then Gloria and Mare.
We're gonna
I
talk
love
to
the
G.
idea.
Mhm.
Like, of you just kind of saying facts about all the books to like anybody who would listen.
Yeah.
That gives me so much joy.
It's like, so this spider has 5, like talking to Jimmy as like
Okay.
it's very, and they can like walk on water sometimes. It's really crazy. And like if you go to Australia, they could adapt to get wings. They don't fly, but they could have wings.
Yeah, and did you know that like this one here could fly in its infancy, but when it gets the hard exoskeleton, it hardens too much that it can only run, but it can run extremely fast.
Didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
very fascinating. I'm
So
glad you're on
sometimes
this
they're
trip,
mistaken
Jimmy.
for flying ants, but they're not flying ants. They're flying spider babies.
Ooh, that's very fascinating. I'm glad you're on this trip. I'm surprised you're here.
You know,
I don't.
that's cool. And continues walking with you.
Oh.
Sean,
Yeah.
please tell me that's not real and you just made that up right now. Like, say
Oh, I
psych.
made that up off the top of my head.
Okay, love,
I
love. Thank you.
I I imagine Taylor has a Spider Facts website up right now. Sean does not have a Spider Facts website up right now, but Jimmy Soto is a straight A student that has never failed a class in his life and would know weird, obscure things about spiders. So
I do
we're
not have a
also
website up.
canonically
Yeah,
in the
no, there's
world
no way
of
there's a 5-legged spider.
yeah.
No,
We're
there's
also
no.
in the world of the Heathers and Life is Strange. So reality's getting a little weird here, Yuri.
Yeah, I just thought of something weird that'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
I really want to know. It has to be a reference, right? Like preppy super bitch Heather McNamara has to be a reference. We all agree.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
it's
Perfect.
literally the name.
Yeah, it is. Anyway,
She's a
cool.
mythic
Then
bitch.
the day goes on as you start your hike. You would see that the landscape changes as you start. At the start, like it's a lot of rocks with trees jutting out of them, but as you go, it becomes a much more wooded forest. Trying to ascend the Devil's Tower has lots of ridges and valleys that you all have to walk through. You're walking through the Black Hills, is the name of the forest that you would all know of. Uh, Anyone that needed to have some sort of accommodation provided them would have had that provided prior on the safety forms. So some of the friends are going slower. Some of them have been paired up so that one person is specifically with the other so that they can take turns checking on with each other because it is an extremely physically intense hike. You are essentially going up a sheer cliff face by wrapping around it through a couple of switchbacks. Um, yep, as you hike through the Black Hills, each of you proceeds to undergo some serious intense physical effort. You all would have your mobility issues addressed as it's more of a gauntlet than anyone expected. By the end of it, everyone is sweaty and tired after a solid 5 hours of travel through some thick wilderness and eventually opening up to the clearing where the Devil's Tower is visible. So it took 5 hours, and you're not at the top. You are at the part now where you can see where the hike starts. Uh, yeah, you all definitely wanted to be
I
out
hate
here,
it.
yeah, for this fun little program. Um, the walk had been through the wilderness, some of it quite nice, some of it not. The Devil's Tower is once again a massive plateau jutting out from the rocky ground that surrounds it and looms over the landscape. It is massive and has dark, jagged outcroppings that lend an almost sinister and foreboding presence to the horizon. Like a stump of severed mountain, it stands silently over all of you, ominously watching. The sky, however, is dimming into a beautiful purple and pink sunset. It's almost worth the effort of the trip to get here, but it seems that the majority of the group is exhausted and well past the point of sightseeing. So, the counselors suggest a momentary pause here to set up camp for the night and allow you all to kind of have a bit of relaxation. What would each of your characters have been doing on the hike, and who would they have been talking to, or what would they have been pointing out? Let's go in the
God.
opposite order we met them the first time. So we'll start with Cool.
For sure. Cool is he's been strolling. His feet are a little sore. He's been wearing some boots, some combat boots. But he's like his jacket is not entirely off. It's more like a cape now. His like
Mhm.
arms are in the sleeves, and he's just kind of like got it over his shoulder because he's still trying to look cool. You gotta have the jacket to look
Yeah.
cool, but not gonna be wearing it as he's exerted himself. And I think he would have been like eavesdropping on Lily, who I would assume is like calling out nature things as they see them. And he's just like he's at the end of the day, this isn't school, and he gets to be somewhere that isn't school. So he's just chilling. Like if he's got to walk for a little bit, it's whatever. So he's just hanging out.
So Lily, what are you up to?
Yeah, probably exactly that. Point out if there's anything out there in nature that would catch Lily's eye. I think she would definitely like try to point it out. Probably say a cool fact, or if anything looks suspicious or something, I'd be down the road for it. But
I think in that case, and feel free to roll a hope check if you'd like. But regardless of your roll, you'll be the first to notice something. So go ahead and roll it for me there.
cool.
That's not ominous at all.
It's a good something. This game isn't all scary.
I'm gonna roll 6 dice because I already
Okay.
have the 2, and my hope is 4.
Okay, perfect. Nice.
What numbers did you need?
Ones, fours, fives, and sixes.
I have a 1 and I have a 6.
Okay, uh, so that one is the only success you had. That's six.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah.
so that can't be negated by a one. So you do gain a point back for yourself. However, that is a very small success with the complication. But the community pool does go up to a nine because of your one. Um, so then, in that case, really, you're looking around, and I think the only thing that spots your eye is a large clearing. It's like a ring of old weathered trees that has many orange flags on it in front of you, and it would just catch your eye as like this is clearly not meant to be nature. And before you can share any fun and exciting facts about it, Mr. Mira steps up. Okay, we've reached our campsite. Anyone that wants to put their stuff down, we're all going to start setting up our tents in this nice ring that is prepared for all people that make the trek. Anything that Lily would be doing in response to that or prior to Mr. Ramirez showing everyone the cool thing that you saw before anyone else, but you got a one?
No, I think that probably is. She probably was still like hanging out with Jimmy at that moment in
Okay,
time.
cool. Then on the trek up here, Cheyenne, what's Shy been up to?
I think Shy has been attempting to eavesdrop on Heather, and if Becca has like continued to kind of stay side by side, she's trying to see how mean these girls are.
Okay.
Because again, she made like sandwiches for everybody and she's a genuine caretaker, but like she's
Hmm.
not very forgiving. So she's trying to see if they are worth the extra care she's attempting to give them, by seeing if they're saying anything mean or unworthy.
Okay. Then perfectly transitioning over to what Becca is up to. I'll let you answer that question, Yuri.
Hello. So we see that Becca and Heather started off um right behind Jimmy and Lily because Jimmy's
Hmm.
very excited, probably definitely up front. Lily was talking to them, also very excited about the nature and stuff, and they would have stood right behind them. And I think slowly as we start climbing up, like they're not going to hurry. They're like, "Oh, you guys are walking too fast. Like, we don't care that the rest of you are passing us because we're all getting to the same spot. Like, whatever." And so they would have slowly kind of ended up in the back of the group, to where I'm assuming at least one of the counselors is with kind of like the slower kids, or
You
anybody
would
who's having
assume
trouble
not the
climbing.
case. You would
No.
assume, however. You end up towards the back, and I'll let Cool and Skidmark. Do you all stay at the front, or do you try and hang out in the back?
I think it'll be closer to the back.
Okay, then the only like you have to like actively work to get behind them, and the only person further trailing you is Hayden, who is taking his time avoiding any sort of conversation, and knows if I stay a good 10 to 20 feet behind the last person, no one's going to ask me questions.
Wow. Then yeah, they would have just because it's more like meandering because they don't want to sweat. And so they're not going to put in like actual effort. And so they
Hmm.
slow down when they get tired and then kind of climb up a little bit and slow back down. And so they would have ended up in the back. And they're talking about a lot of things. You would notice the only one that has probably done something bad would be Heather, right? Um, Becca is just kind of like, um, not stuck up, kind of stuck up, but how would you even explain it? Like, she hasn't done anything mean. And you would get, because you're so smart, you would get the kind of the feeling that she's trying to fit in,
Gotcha.
right? And
Okay.
so it's like, would she actually like bully somebody? Probably not, right? But she would stand there and kind of like watch somebody else do it,
Yeah.
and not say anything because that would make her not cool, right? So that type of person. But she herself
Gotcha.
hasn't
Gotcha.
actually done anything mean. And so she's just going, "Oh my God, really? Oh, that's so cool." And you also notice that whenever Heather asks her questions, especially about like vacations or like, "Oh, when'd you get that purse? Like, I saw you have something like that last year, whatever." She really quickly diverts the conversation back to Heather.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep, that's the tea I was trying to gather.
Perfect. So then you all make it to the orange fire pit, well, regular fire pit, surrounded by little orange flags in a nice cleared out area. Um, right at sunset, starting to get the night going together. And you all are able to start unpacking your tents, setting up your gear, your sleeping bags. Mr. Seavey perks up and is like, "Okay, so that's right, everyone. I know you're extremely tired. You're probably really exhausted. You're probably thinking, who are these adults? Why are they here? What's their vibe?" But I assure you, we are cool. So cool. We have been where you are. We have been crossroad explorers ourselves, and we are definitely gonna be here to help all of you document this amazing celestial event. There's not that many times that like you get a full blood moon on the top of a mountain. It's just super cool. And you all are gonna have a great time because Miss Ramirez and I are here to just make sure it is the best night it can possibly be for all of us. So, anyone that knows how to set up a tent, help those that don't. Anyone that doesn't know, try your best. And if you need help, we will be around to help. We've all got this. We are all crossroads explorers, and we can all do this because we are great.
I need help.
Cool, yak.
Oh, who here knows how to set up a tent? Raise a hand if you know how, please. Jimmy puts his hand up. Okay. So you would see that Jimmy, Shy, and Lily have their hands up. Gloria, Mare, the other three do not have their hands up. Skidmark, uh, if you're still close enough, could see, like, does a gesture to you, cool, of like, I got this. If you need help, I got this. But does not show any sort of commitment to being able to do anything about setting up a tent.
Becca will literally just find like a trunk or somewhere to sit and wait
Mhm.
for somebody to set up their tent. And I'm assuming her and Heather are just sitting and waiting together.
Okay. Well, so I guess team knows how to set up a tent. Cool. If you want, you and Skidmark can kind of just set yours up together. Don't need to get anyone else involved. But for the other two that have claimed knowledge, um, is there anyone that you would be helping first? Would you be doing your own tent? What is the order of operation here of social layering, but also getting your own tent and sleeping bag ready before you run out of energy? Because you all are still pretty tired.
Um, I think again, my boots are brand new and not even sort of broken in. So my feet are bleeding possibly in my actual boots right now. So yeah, I'll set up my own tent real quick. I'll go ahead and do that. But then immediately I'm going around, probably not in the nicest way, giving tips and pointers to people who are visibly struggling with setting up their tents, like, "Oh, well, you know that those sticks, that you kind of have to like connect them. You see that there are connector pieces. You kind of have to connect them to make it look like a tent shape.
Yeah, you see Mare takes the two, goes, "Oh, like this? So like if I hold them together, they're just gonna make a magnetic tent shape, right?"
If you hold them together in such a way that one enters another,
Got it. Okay, cool. So now I have one stick.
great. And then you just make a bunch of other sticks and put them in a tent shape."
Okay, cool. Cool. What are you up to?
I think like Cool and Skidmark are like, so Skidmark's like leading the way, setting this tent up, and Cool is just like looking at the motions that Skidmark is making to like putting the different pieces together and building the tent up, and he's just like nodding his head like, okay, for sure, for sure. Yo, you're really good at this, dude. That's sick, man.
Sometimes you gotta like lay low, and it's good to know how to do a tent if you want to lay low.
For sure, for sure. It's like mysterious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
So
vibe. That's a
maybe
vibe,
next
like
time
you're saying.
is a vibe.
Vibes are vibes, man, for sure.
Cool. Cool. What would vibes or vibes when you forget your character name, Taylor? What would Lily be doing?
Definitely helping putting Heather's tent up.
Okay. Specifically just Heather's and not also doing Becca's.
Becca asked, but I feel like there's
Hmm.
history between the two of Heather and Lily.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, helping set the tent up. Jimmy eventually comes over to you, Becca, after already setting up his own tent, having an exciting conversation with setting up telescopes with Mr. Stevie, and setting up Gloria's tent. He then comes to you and is like, well, I'm a little tired, but I think I can still teach someone what to do. So, how much have you gotten done so far? It looks like nothing, but that doesn't mean you haven't tried.
I haven't.
Okay, so do you see how that could be a problem?
No.
Ah. So if you're not trying, what are you doing?
I'm waiting. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure you can tell because I'm just like sitting down.
Okay. So am I going to help you with this, or am I just going to do this for you?
Preferably the second. Yeah.
Okay. Can you make a cool check? And if it goes wrong, you will lose relations with Jimmy.
Cool.
Jimmy.
Cool. I have 3 on that plus my 2. Oh my god. We have 9 on the community pool. Y'all aren't even gonna notice they're gone.
How many are you taking from the community pool?
3. So
Okay.
not that bad. We still have 6. Y'all are fine. Oh,
Yeah.
enjoy the sound of
Okay.
clicky
Yeah.
clacks.
Clicky clacks.
Oh, okay. Not a single one.
Okay.
All right. That's a lot of numbers. I got
We're
2
looking for 5s and
5s
6s in this
and
case. Okay.
fuck, 2 5s and a 4.
Yeah, still 2 successes. You will lose a point with him. You won't lose a community die from that. So minus 1 point from Jimmy. But yeah, no loss of a community die. So you're still at 6 mementos there. And he's like, okay, yeah. I mean, I can tell that you're just kind of used to things being done for you, and maybe if you weren't, then you wouldn't be here because you wouldn't have had to fail at finding someone to cheat for you last term. But hey, if it's a pattern, it's a pattern. And just start setting up your tent for you.
I mean, it's working out so far. And
Now
she
we'll see what
looked.
happens when you need to like be, I don't know, perceptive or running from something, or lots of things happen in the woods if you're not prepped.
Oh my god. She had, with the smoking with Heather and chit chatting, again, she had kind of gotten comfortable. She's back to freaking out. And now it's like, now she's like keeping an eye on him straight up.
We had a discussion at Cheyenne. You were looking around just at people in general earlier. Is anyone else like looking around at everyone, or are the rest of you kind of focusing on your own stuff?
What was options for
Yeah.
one?
Are you kind of like, once your like tent is up, are you like in your pod being like, I've got my stuff going on, or are you then kind of just surveying everyone, seeing what's going on?
I feel like Lily be looking around
Okay.
at everyone. She's not tired to
Cool,
go
and
in the
Becca?
tent yet.
I said Cool is also looking around after finishing the tent. They're gonna give Skid Mark a fist bump, like nice stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna start meandering, sort of taking the scenery, see what everybody else is up to.
Becca
Nice.
goes back to Heather and like tells her like she's getting bad vibes from Jimmy.
I like the laugh there. Perfect. Then everyone but Becca, can you make me a hope check, please?
Can I use the memento dice I got earlier from Harlan?
You can, yep. Chat, this would be a good roll that if you wanted to donate an immediate success, could be a good time for it.
Can I also take one from the
Nudge, nudge,
community
wink,
pool?
wink.
You can, yeah.
Okay.
So that brings it down to 5. Anyone
I'm,
else
al-
borrowing from the community pool?
I'll
I'm
take
also
one.
gonna take one.
Okay, so that brings it down to 3 in the community pool.
What do
We're
we need
totally
as
not
success?
gonna need them later.
You need a success on a 6.
Oh shit. Okay.
I have a 6.
Okay,
Highest I got's a 5.
okay.
I got 2 6s, but I also got a 1.
The ones don't cancel out sixes. So you're safe there.
Cool.
So go ahead. I'll put 1 back in the community pool, bringing it back up to 4. Give yourself 2 mementos for your 6, and Taylor, give yourself 1 memento for your 6.
Yeah.
And with your collective roll there, you all would know Harlan's not here. Harlan is not setting up his tent. You haven't heard him talking to anyone. No one seems to have noticed his absence, but the rest of your tent's pretty set up, and Harlan is gone.
I think I just to flavor this, I think after she set up her own tent and was giving some advice, Shy was going around giving those sandwiches that she had made to most people in the group, and realized that she had already given one to Harlan. So she was like, well, maybe I can help set up his tent, and looks over and sees that he's not there or anywhere, and would immediately go, Ms. Ramirez, Mr. Stevie, we have an issue.
Is the issue that the sun is not down and the moon is not up, so we cannot do a wonderful astronomy yet? Because don't you worry, that is going to fix itself soon.
Sorry, why would that be the problem? No, that kid is missing, Harlan.
Oh! Lily, you also would have noticed this from your combined successes, or anything you're adding to the scene.
It's like, I think Lily be walking up and say, hey, I think Harlem's gone. Like, didn't hear whatever happened beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just told to us. Everyone stand up, stand up. We're gonna do a head count. 1, 2, 3, and there is in fact 1 person missing as Harlan is not here. And you see the counselors kind of go into crisis mode. So who was walking with Harlan on the trail? Raise of hands, raise of hands.
Wasn't it Shy?
Okay, so you were last to see him. So where is he?
Oh, no. I wasn't saying that I was walking with him on the trail. Actually, I was raising my hand to say I saw him walking on the trail 20 to 30 feet behind everyone else, pulling up the rear, and getting further and further away as we kept walking.
You know, he likes to keep to himself. I'm sure there's no need to panic, right? I mean, if we just walk a bit back on the trail, he's probably sitting down, taking a rest. Yes, that's it. No one panic. Harlan is not gone. Harlan is resting on the trail, and we can all split up and go find him. Clearly, it's okay. I know we're all invested in walking. Your original pairs distracted us, so we're gonna shuffle. We're gonna make new friends and shuffle up our connections. And we're all gonna just wander back into the woods and really go find Harlan because we kind of need to do that because our jobs might be on the line. It's a good plan, and we're all okay.
Sounds like a perfect plan to me.
Thank you, Lily. You go with Gloria.
Oh.
On principle, like I don't agree with most of the rules and guidelines you've set up, but like that feels objectively like a bad idea. Or like whatever.
Going to
But
find
like
a missing friend.
Well, what if we go
no,
missing?
we can find him. It just feels I don't know about like the splitting up thing. That doesn't feel smart. But like
Isn't that like your job is to make sure like nothing happens to us and stuff? So why don't we stay here and you go out to look for him?
We'll go looking too, and we'll leave those 3 and point to the 3 unnamed NPCs here to watch in case Harlan comes back. And you can go with Mare. And Cool, you can go with Heather McNamara, and you points to Cheyenne. You can go with Skidmark, and um, Jimmy, you've been a lot of help. You can stay with us.
What if we go missing?
Right.
Come back here. You know how to find it now.
What if
Jimmy
he gets?
Sato is new, and my GPA is higher.
Jimmy Sato looks at you and goes, "You wish."
I know. I broke into the office 2 days before this trip. Okay, Jimmy.
You did what?
What?
Who?
So I imagine that if you're saying that you broke into the counseling office where records of GPA are stored.
No, I didn't say that. That's crazy. You're crazy.
Harlan's missing.
We need to
We're
find
gonna
Harlan.
subtract.
There's no
We're gonna
time to
subtract
wait.
2 from the community pool for trying to gaslight the counselors after saying you broke into their office. The community pool is down to 2 now.
That's something can happen.
Sorry,
Gaslight.
Yeah.
I
That's on me, that's
love
on me,
it.
that's on
Oh
me,
my
I'm sorry.
God.
Negative relations subtract memento.
Negative relationship.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
That is incredible.
gaslighting counselors after saying you just broke into their office is a good way to get negative relations with adults.
Better that than a
Sims.
call to my parents, am I right?
Chat, this is also a great time if you want to donate to get that community pool back up a little
Help.
bit. Feel free.
Hail.
Help.
As it's sitting at a pretty 2.
That's a gorgeous too.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So you all set off to take a walk. Skidmark with Cheyenne, Cool with
Heather.
you had Heather McNamara, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gloria with Taylor, Mare with Becca, and then the 3 unnamed NPCs staying behind in case Harlan just kind of finds his way back, as you know, sometimes people do when they walk slowly. And you all set off into the dimming sun to go try and find a missing friend.
If everyone's still together a little bit, Lily would bring up and say, I saw that we walked past like this clearing area that has like these orange flags and stuff. Looks very like like we can't do this. So
That's where you're at now.
That's where we're at. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I'm making sure there's something else. But that's all I know. That's all Lily knows. So that's all I got.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and take a break there. And we'll come back, see how this investigation goes, and then get into chapter 3. We will see you on the other side, everyone. Bye-bye. Oh, there will be a link if you want to donate. There's a QR code on our Be Right Back screen. Do that. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from the break. We'll give a couple of seconds for people to fade themselves back in as they hear the sultry tones of all of our voices. But just a little recap for anyone that may be joining us from the break or found the channel during the break in some social media posts. Our group right now is a group of people that are all part of the Crossroads Adventuring Group. Some of them by choice, some of them by force, some of them for their own reasons that they have not chose to disclose to themselves, the party, or anyone here. While on the adventure, they took a bus ride for 2 hours into the middle of Wyoming. Beautiful sights, terrible place, where they were all going to go to the top of the Devil's Tower to witness a beautiful cosmic event of the full moon of a blood moon on top of the Devil's Tower to get a very pretty, very cool celestial event going on. While walking around and unpacking, they all chose to kind of like have their own time, figure out. Some of them chose to make connections, some of them chose to investigate a ranger tower, some of them chose fire safety, Smokey the Bear be proud, and moved not explosives, but igniters away from an old wooden building. Uh, while doing so, found a couple screwdrivers, found a couple of spades, handed some pliers to a friend, and then also found a flare. The party then were handed ugly mustard yellow backpacks full of tent supplies, sleeping bags, a couple of days' rations, and water, should they be needed. Why would they? As well as some pocket knives. They went on a 5 hour hike through the woods, connecting themselves with each other and nature, and not Harlan, because nobody bothered to check in on Harlan. And then you all made it to a campsite where you set up your tents. Some of them had them set up for you. Some of you have made great connections and have positive relations with your peers and new friends. Some of you have made bad connections and have bad connections with your new peers. Oh, this is a terrible time to come back. The ads are starting in 3 minutes. Uh-oh. I'm going to snooze those for a bit. And some of you made awful connections with your supervisors. And now they know that you broke into their office to look at other people's GPAs simply for your own reason. Um, vibes. Things you do. Vibes are vibes unless they're vibes. Uh, right before the break, you all were paired off with um, our friendly pairings of Becca with Mare, an NPC that's kind of here living her best life, having her best time. Lily with an NPC, Gloria, also here having her best life, having the best time. Probably hated the hike more than any of you. Knowing IRL Gloria ain't doing a 5 mile hike. So Lily, if you also hated the hike, that's probably something you could quickly bond over when looking around. Cool, you were pulled away from your new friend Skidmark and paired with the absolute worst person on this trip, Heather McNamara, the rich socialite girl who thinks she's got it all going on. And Cheyenne, even before, making sass towards the counselors, you were paired with Skatemark, probably the person here that will take your attention the least from actually investigating as you head to look out. And you all have been tasked now with a brief foray into the woods to hopefully find Harlan, the missing teen who has been accompanying you up until he wasn't. As we come back in, any questions that any of the cast have, or any above table questions to recap all of that before we start our investigations? Okay, cool. Then, who wants to go first? Who wants to set off on a little look around first? No one. Perfect. Lily, let's start with you.
I'll do it.
Oh. Either one, go for it.
I was like, I'm cool with whatever.
Cool, Lily, let's go.
Okay. There's a specific area. So we did the 5 mile hike. I think Lily was excited about that hike because nature is what she's obsessed over. And she also has the compass in her gear bag thing. So she's just like, there's no reason. Oh, let me turn off my heater.
You would see Gloria seeing it like, that compass is really, really cool. Why are we walking again? This sucks. I don't like this.
We're looking for Harlan.
But like, we could look like right at the edge of camp. We don't really need to like go in, do we?
No, we do have to go in.
Fine, let's go. And Gloria starts very slowly walking with you to go look for Harlan.
Yeah, there's something that I could roll for to see if she noticed.
Yeah, again, like hope would still be your best unless you're trying to like be charismatic or strengthy about it. Hope is going to be like our best
Nope.
searching trait.
I would say, yeah, hope is my biggest pool. I'm
Okay, cool.
gonna stick to that. And I have my donation dice. I won't take any of the community pools since we only have the two.
Yep.
Ooh. I have 3 6s. And then
Three
one
sixes.
1.
Okay. So the one will add a memento to the pool. Any 4s or 5s here?
No.
Okay, then give yourself 3 memento dice, as you got 3 6s. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you would see going on is just kind of the vibe of everyone else. Um, Clearly nerves, kind of the same energy Becca has been giving off the entire trip, except now, Becca, you can still have the facade if you want, but the facade has faded from everyone else, and like any signs of discomfort are fading. Um, they're clearly nervous and concerned. There's whispering amongst them as the searches are happening, especially the ones that are going off. And despite trying to downplaying the incident and also downplaying the once again break into their office, you can tell that Mr. Stevie and Miss Ramirez are clearly struggling like to downplay the incident and are like projecting a level of extremely fake optimism that especially seems strange coming from Mr. Stevie, that his like veneer of optimism has not broken. It's faded, but it's still very much the same, like everything's gonna be fine that it was on the bus and prior. Um, that would be the first stuff that you notice right around, and as we go, I can give you a bit more. But that's the first thing you'd find around camp.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I think talk to Gloria and just be like, yeah, their tone of voices are changing, so this is way more serious than
Oh,
we probably think.
yeah, that's probably not good.
No. Well, at least we have each other, so we won't get lost.
Yeah, like, and you got a compass, right? That's gonna
Yeah,
point us.
yeah. It's a working compass, and I was like, that will help us on our way back. I've been trying to leave a trail mix trail, so long as no critters have eaten that, we should be fine.
Wouldn't it have maybe made more sense to use like the rope to like make a rope thing?
Oh, you're so right.
Hey, but like I mean, that food could have been eaten, but hey, it's done. So let's look on the bright side. We're not Harlan. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you still have your rations, right?
I do. I have my rations. Yeah, that is something I have.
Yeah. So we'd be fine.
Cool. Who's next?
I shall go.
Okay.
Um, I think Shy is a little upsetty spaghetti that the authority figures don't see her potential and her effort,
Mhm.
and instead only see the negative of something she may or may not have done. So
Mhm.
she's kind of like griping about that out loud to Skidmark and go, honestly, it's not even a law to not go into a counselor's office. There's not even trespassing. It's a public building, and I'm there every day. I'm registered to go. It's a rule, sure, but it's not a law, you know? I don't break laws. That'd be crazy, right, Skidmark?
Can you make me a cred check as you're saying that?
Shit. No. No, I cannot. Okay, hold on. I'm not gonna take anything from the community pool because I fucked the community pool over on accident, but I am gonna take one of my mementos from my
Okay.
sixes from an earlier
Mhm.
success. So I'm rolling 6 dice. Ooh, yeehaw! What do I need?
And this is just 4s, 5s, or 6s.
Okay, I got a 4, a 5, and a 6, and all the other 3 were 2s.
Okay, cool. So give yourself a memento die back for getting your 6.
Okay.
Uh, and on the 3 successes, they kind of look at you and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, you are kind of the one that early in the day made a whole show of pointing out that like that Cool and I were the first to go in somewhere and like that we shouldn't open locked things and that it's bad to open locked things that are locked. Um so the hypocrisy, wild. However, like
What are you
mad
talking
respect.
about?
Are you trying to lie
I'm
right
not
now?
trying to gaslight. No, I'm genuinely not trying to gaslight them. I'm like, I said it's wrong. Here's the code. Like, I'm like, here's our story.
You
And here's
also
what we're gonna
made,
do.
like, with your body language, a huge note of like, oh, I didn't open the door to the no trespassing sign. I'm gonna let these two randos go in first. Which, like,
Right.
again, not saying there's hypocrisy, but not saying I don't respect it. But maybe, like, check yourself. Because you might rub some people a bit wrong.
I've genuinely never considered that before because if you're correct, then why would anyone be mad at you? Like, isn't
No,
it correct
no,
to
no,
let
no,
someone
no, no,
else
no.
do
Okay,
the
hold on.
bad thing first?
So, correct doesn't mean cool or chill or fun. And right now,
Right.
you're not cool or chill or fun, and also like you're a lot. And like just because you're correct,
Oh,
like so like let's say that like we threw your notes in the fire and nobody ever found them, right? And it was me and me and Cool against what you're saying. That's two against one, so we're right because there's more of us. You might be right,
I don't
but
think
you
that's
ain't
how being
right.
correct works.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because nobody was there to witness it. And if you're acting like this, no one's going to be on your side. So like just right now your vibes are vibes. Turn your vibes into
Yeah.
vibes and more people are going to help.
Okay, so just vibier.
Not like that. That's wrong. That's some
Oh,
McNamara shit. Like
okay,
just like
no.
vibes.
Just vibes. Okay, I can do vibes. I can do just vibes. I'm really good at doing new stuff and I've never done it before, so this is new. So, vibes.
There you go.
And
So you
then
can be
she's going
better.
to I do think she's going to open her fanny pack
Mhm.
and you hear like a little bit of a rattling and she goes, "I have to take a quick pee break. 1 sec. Just wait for me, okay? I'm going to step behind this tree."
Okay.
And she's going to break in half one of her sleeping pills from her inventory, which I don't know why you gave her this, but she's going to take half of one to be more chill, more vibes, and to get people to like her. And
To
when
clarify,
and also her
I
feet
did
hurt.
not give you sleeping pills. The game gave you sleeping pills. That is not something that
Yeah, the
Sean gave you.
game gave the overachiever who's on the brink of a crash out sleeping pills.
Mhm.
So yeah, she'll take that and when she comes back, she'll just kind of be breathing a little deeper. I'm sure it hasn't hit yet, but like she's just breathing and is ready to like be the thing that other people want her to be. Cuz that's literally all she wants anyway.
Mhm. Cool. Okay, well, yeah. Uh cool. What are you up to? How's your adventure with McNamara going?
I think Cool is just not easing Heather's nerves at all. It's just going to be like, yeah, so Skid Mark and I were talking about like this really great podcast idea, actually. It's gonna like really sick.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like, so apparently, right? You know, there's like murder mystery like podcasts and stuff, like true crime. You into like true crime?
Like no, who's going to be into true crime? Do you actually listen to that stuff?
Not really, but like when Skid Mark, you should talk to Skid Mark. Skid Mark's actually really dope. But when Skid Mark explained it, so like anyway, there are like some like murders in like the forest and stuff, and like it's kind of gnarly. So like where it's it's a little spooky and stuff. But yeah, it's like murders and shit. So like be careful. You know what I mean?
Is that a warning, a threat, or aid?
I don't know, dude. It's just vibes. You know what I mean? Like it's just like the forest has just got like murderous vibes.
Okay, well, I would walk away, but I'm not convinced that you wouldn't murder me because the forest has murderous vibes, so I'm not gonna walk away, but I am gonna walk at least 3 arm distances from you, and I need you to know that that's what I'm doing because I don't trust you. Okay?
Yo, for sure. And like totally get if this is like off-putting. I didn't read the room well. I know some people are into like true crime stuff. So like you asked if this was like aid. I hope it was like informational. I know I'm like not like, the studious informational dude, but I just thought I'd share something from my buddy Skidmark. But yeah, I
Yeah.
totally understand you, like for sure. But like also not like in a creepy way of like stay close, but like to your concern that like the forest has murders vibes, um definitely like we don't want like another Harlan missing, like you know what I mean, like so like we could have like a code word, like if you're like in danger it could be like hooty hoo or something, like I don't know, and then like I'll like I don't know, but like yeah, just like be careful.
Okay. How do I not know who you are? Like, I feel like you are someone that would have been on my radar, and I don't know who the fuck you are.
I mean, I just go where the vibes are. So like school's not like my big suit. I'm not good with words, but it's not. I don't know. I don't even know who you are, Heather. I know your name, but like that's really it.
You see, she's verbally taken that, not verbally, visually taken aback, and she's like, "You don't know who Heather McNamara is?"
No, like not in a disrespectful way. Like we just roam in different circles. That's all it is. It's not personal.
But I am circles. Like, social circles exist because I want them to. So if you don't know who I am, that's concerning. But
Yeah.
hooty hoot, it is. Don't kill me. I won't kill you. I guess. Do you think he's fine? Is this like so? I guess the question. This is. I'm tired. You
For
seem to
sure.
be fine. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
Um, is it worth our, do you think he's missing, like missing, or do you think he's missing like missing? Like, is it worth the energy to actually go look, or should we like circle back and hide from those 3 weirdos that stay behind and just like take a nap?
No, like for sure. Like I can understand going where your vibes are taking you. I think like one question to ask yourself, Heather, is like, would you feel better if a kid did turn up missing and you didn't do anything about it? Or like, would you feel better if you actually helped?
I mean, like, so if a kid turns up missing and I didn't do anything about it, the kid is still dead anyway. If the kid does turn up missing and I help, that probably means that I find the body, and then I have a lot of trauma from seeing a freshly disposed corpse, which is not good for me and my mental health.
For
So I
sure.
don't think there's a right answer here. I know you want to bait me into saying I should aid, but like therapy is expensive and I want to use that money for other stuff. But
For
I
sure.
also can't go back after last year's whole incident at school with people thinking that I got involved in another murder plot. So like I'm going to do this not cuz I care, but because of the social perception. Meadow, for your panicking, again, a reference to the Heathers movie, not a murder plot in the world. just for, I know you are extremely thorough with your notes right now. Just a reference again to the Heathers. Cool. Uh, cool. And then last but not least, what's Becca up to?
So, Becca has pulled some bubble gum out of her bag and is just like hands it out to Maz. Just kind of
To
like,
Mare.
oh, right, to Mare.
Yep. Oh yeah,
She
thanks.
just hands the bubble gum. It's kind of like, okay. Um, so like, are you like, I don't know, good with like the forest and the animals and stuff?
Yeah, like I kind of grew up around them, so like I know how to like look out for tracks and stuff. And I've had a dog, so I imagine if we find like a wild coyote or a wolf or something, I could probably pet it, and it'd probably feel really
Okay.
good.
Okay. Oh my gosh, great. Okay, I thought both of us were just like, because I don't really know anything, so I was a little worried. But you sound really capable. I love that. I feel a little bit better now. I brought like a flare. I wasn't like I've never actually seen one of these in person, but like Lily, like the bug girl, like taught me how to use it. So if we do get into any trouble, I can use it. But it sounds like you got this. Okay. Um I honestly like low-key don't want to walk like too far
Mm-hmm.
because it's getting really dark.
Uh-huh.
But I guess just like a little walk should be fine. Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
Yeah. Um, that's on that. Yeah, I like that plan. Then we don't do much. So now I'm gonna ask her a roll from everyone. Taylor, because of how well you rolled earlier, go ahead and add an extra die to whatever you choose. If you all are choosing to search a wide area, it's gonna be a beef challenge. Like if you want to get the most you can in a limited amount of time, that's gonna be physical, so it's gonna be a beefy challenge. If you want to do a um if you want to do more of just like checking small parts of the path, it's going to be a hope challenge. The other thing I need to know in this moment, how many mementos does each of you have? 2, 5, 1, 1. Okay, cool. So go ahead and roll and let me know either hope or beef for what you're rolling for.
I'm happy to sound
I
off. Good. Sorry.
am sorry. I just got really excited.
Okay.
So I'm shit at both of them, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, I chose hope,
Okay.
and I rolled 2 6s and a 4 out of my 3 dice because I only had 3 dice to roll.
Oh,
And I'm
nice job.
yay!
Okay. Cool.
I got
So go
something
ahead and
for the
take 2
sixes, right?
memento back there.
Fuck
What everyone
yeah.
else
Okay.
get?
I rolled beef and I got
Okay.
2 4s, 2 2s, and a 3.
2 4s, 2 2s, and 3. Okay. Everyone else?
You need 4 5s and 6.
4s, 5s, and 6s here. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I got 2 4s, a 5, a 6, and a 1.
2 4s, a 5, a 6. Okay. Go ahead and give yourself the point. Which did you spend any mementos to roll that?
No.
Or are you now up to 6? Okay, cool. And then Meadow.
I rolled with hope, and I did add one of my 2 mementos. I
Okay.
got 2 4s, 1
Mhm.
5, and 2 6s.
2 4s, 1 5, 2 6. Okay, so that's 5 successes for you, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
Yeah. And Yuri, you had 3 successes. Carrie, you had 3 successes. Okay, awesome. Um, the first thing that happens then is going to be that Lily, you find a secret clue. I will send it in chat. You meet the parameters to find secret clue. Uh, those watching at home, there are things in this game that can only be achieved through character choices that were made before the start of the game that the players are not aware of, or having certain thresholds met prior to events happening. One of which being that Lily, you find a bit of torn journal that turns out to be Harlan's. The journal entry says a lot about being alone, but the underlined phrase is, I don't know why he won't just leave me alone. It wasn't my fault. I don't deserve this. I wonder what they would think if they knew what I was really capable of. I'll give you all a moment to read and look at that while we add it to the stream for people to see. Uh, so there we are, chat. If you want to see the entire note there, before we put it on our small little board right here. Okay. And then you're able to find that while looking around. uh cool, you're able to survey a lot of land. You get like an entire section of the woods that you know Harlan is not at. McNamara slows you down a bit because she's like, this, you're walking really fast. This is not good for my fashion boots. I was not aware that we were going to be like having to like go off the trails. So if you just want to like go out a bit and then come back and tell me that you didn't find him, that would be so kind of you, and I would appreciate it so much. Um, but other than that, she's not really able to help you out much beyond that. Um, this is also me vamping for time because a lot of the clues are if A, then B. So I want to make sure I don't cheat you out of any clues based on the rolls you all get.
I appreciate it.
Uh, cool. So nothing there, and then also. Okay, cool. Nothing else there, and then. Okay, cool.
I offered Mare my vape. Did she take it?
No, I don't think Mare takes your
Okay.
vape. Yeah, and so all of you, then the other two are able to look out. You guys were doing much more thorough searches, much closer. So there's a good section of the trail that you know does not seem to have anyone on it, leaving only a pretty small amount of um, the land left that would be set up over where Harlan could be. It would be not that far away from camp that someone could have like seen if he had made it to camp and then slipped off, like just because he needed a break from being overwhelmed or something, or he took a break pretty close to the camp. Either one is a likely situation at the time. It's just not exactly sure what all he did, but it's not that far out of camp. So it could be that the people who are waiting back at home, at like the home base, could have found him by now. There's cause for concern because it doesn't sound like anyone has found him, but not too much concern for where you all are at. Um, and as the night starts to settle, I imagine you all would be heading back to preserve your best senses. You all have flashlights, so it's if you do stay out past the sun fully setting, you have your flashlight, no concern there. I'm now going to privately message each of you a question. And I want you to not say your answer to stream. I want you to only say your answer to me in the private chat, please.
Becca is low key like she offered her vape because she was trying to be nice, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
she wants to be on this girl's good side because she seems to know about woods. So if anything happens, like she wants Mare to help, right? Um, but she's low key like a little happy that she doesn't take it because
Hmm.
she only has that one cartridge because she wasn't able to like buy more before the trip. So
Uh-huh.
she's like, you offer because you're nice, but you're happy they don't actually take you up on it.
100% makes so much sense. Also, if you all want to just role play for me what it's like as you're heading back to camp while we get these questions answered, I would love to hear what you all had with your um, like little investigations and stuff.
I think me and Skidmark are I don't know if we're vibing now, but
Mhm.
Shy feels a lot more vibey.
Mhm.
Um her feet don't seem to hurt as much and everything seems really like soft and a little cloudy.
Okay.
And as she comes back to camp, she looks a lot calmer. So she's talking to Skidmark like, you know what? Why don't you hang on to this extra sandwich I have? It's got arugula and some Gouda and some prosciutto. It's delicious and you deserve it. You deserve to have extra prosciutto. And she's going to
Mhm.
hand Skidmark the second sandwich of the day at this point, which means that she has one left for herself and like nothing left.
Okay. Everyone else.
I think Lily will talk to Gloria's like, I found this piece of paper on the trail. I think is I believe it's probably Harlan's, but it's like it's almost like panicking. Like no exit, no escape on here. It's no more. This is just stressful.
Anyone that hasn't responded in the Discord DM, can I get your response there, please? Uh, as you are all coming back into the clearing of the tents. Um, to know. Cool and cool. So yeah, as you all are coming back into the tents, you would look up, and for a moment the air goes still. Everything here feels a little wrong for a second. Um, as the sun fully sets and the moon fully rises, um, you would see a sense of darkness blooming and cool. You would find um, on your way back that there seems to be a boot print that seems to be about a size 9 shoe, um, very similar to the shoes that several of your peers are wearing, left freshly in the mud, leading away from where others would have been going. I will send a picture for us in chat, and then I will put it on screen so you can all see it. Um, it's strange because if every one of your peers or anyone out in these woods, whether they be with your group or not, were aiding in this investigation, there's no reason for them to have gone that way. And you are savvy enough that you are able to put that together there. Here you go, chat. Here is a nice picture of a boot print. Goodbye, picture of large boot print. Hello, picture. A small boot print. Hard to say boot print, not say blueprint. And you all look up as a weird chill settles through the air. The night sky suddenly hanging over you like a pendulum. You see the stars burning through the night until a strange, eerie redness appears in the sky, almost like the blood moon itself is seeping out into the entire sky around it. And then something happens as the air thickens, and you feel a very cold breeze run past you as though it was somehow going to cut through you. And everything, including the birds, the insects, the sound of the wind, everything goes silent. And can I have each of you make a beef check for me? If you have naturally 2 or more dice in this, you can count 4s, 5s, and 6s. If you don't have 2 or more, it's only 5s or 6s that count for successes here.
Got 1 success and no 1s and no 6s.
Okay.
Got 3 successes, 4, 5, 5, and a 2.
Okay.
I got 2 successes, 6 and a 5.
Okay.
I'm fucked.
Okay.
0.
So, cool. You see as everyone's coming back and this weird chill goes through, your vision fades and becomes blurry, as though things are suddenly experiencing like a bit of a double layering on top of each other. And as you're looking around in a stupor, everyone around you seems to be falling to the floor unconscious. They're passing out, they're landing on the ground. No one's injuring themselves as they go down. How fucked is Becca? What was super fucked?
Oh, I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, then yeah.
So
No
I'm
one injures
0.
themselves. I was like, let me
Bad,
actually
and
check in on that super
yeah.
fuck. Yeah. Everyone else hitting the ground behind you, including all of your friends and the counselors, as you just feel this like sense of dread seep through you, getting very woozy, very lightheaded, find a tree to lean on, and after a moment or two, the feeling has passed. And then you all look up and see a strange spectral image of a human floating on the top of a ridge. And that's where we'll stop.
What?
Let's find out what that is next week.
What the fuck?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. That's where we're
Oh,
gonna stop for
no.
tonight.
Yeah.
What could it
This
be?
wasn't in the manual.
I know, like,
I hope
this is Life is
The
Strange.
campsite was grass and not dirt, because my tracksuit's gonna get dirty.
Yeah. Thank you, players, for being here tonight. Thank you, chat, for being here tonight. And also, thank you, non-chat members. Thank you for the lurkers. You all mean so much. And I know oftentimes we refer to chat, but it also means lurkers because you all mean the most. I'm going to turn it over to the rest of you before we kind of give you a little Life is Strange fade out of what has happened and where we'll pick up next week. Let's go in reverse order this time. Yuri, who are you? What are you doing? Where can people find you?
Hello, I am Yudi. That is Y-U-R-I, pronouns she, they. Y'all can go ahead and find me at Yudi and the Beast absolutely everywhere. I'm doing a lot of stuff that I'm not going to ramble off, so go ahead and follow me. Look at what I'm up to on, usually on Threads, on Instagram, now also on Blue Sky. Um, yeah, I'm just still in the what the fuck, so.
Hey. Carrie.
Yo, Carrie, Oathbreaker Carrie on the socials. You can find whatnots that I'm going to be up to on Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky as well. Gonna be playing in a game with GM Meadow and Taylor tomorrow, a Hex Heist. Super
Oh, yeah.
excited for that on Girls Run These Worlds. But yeah, that's where you can find me in the Bankings link as well.
Lovely. Taylor.
Hey, I'm Taylor, aka Spunky Taylor, Black Friday content creator. She her pronouns. I've been playing Lily Pinbot this evening. If you want to see more of me, again, you can see me tomorrow. Hex Heist, Black Witches. Let's get it. On Monday, catch me on Star Call in the Hill We Meet Upon, emotional animals, delivering mail. Very wonderful story, very emotional story. Love it over there. And then that's it. Now we're back here.
And then Meadow, last but not least.
Howdy, darling. I am Meadow. I've been Meadow and will hopefully continue to be Meadow in the future. Tonight, you saw me as Shy, your favorite overachieving crash out. And tomorrow you can find me at Girls Run These Worlds running a hex heist about witches at a masquerade ball. On Tuesdays from next week on, you can find me at Montreal at night playing Vampire the Masquerade. You have no idea how badly these people fucked up. They gonna let me be a vampire anyway. And then I'll be right back here, same time, same place next week. I'm very excited to do that.
Nice. And then, yeah, I'm here. I am Sean. I exist. I run the whole Help Action Needed channel and podcast and socials, and it's a one-man operation, which is why I have so many amazing guests that are able to come in and do things. If you really liked today and you are a little scared for where the chat, not the chat, for where the players are maybe going to be living next week with their 4 community dice, the Tiltify link is going to be open all week. So if you have people that want to support the cause but weren't able to be here today, or if you have anything that you want to just kind of shout out, if you got a player that you really like, you're like, ooh, I'm going to do this because I can, you can give them points now. They don't need to only be earned before. You can absolutely wreck the system. We could come back next week with like 30 dice in the community pool. It's up to you, chat and friends of chat, and we're going to keep sharing that social link. There's a lot of stuff coming up on this channel, but I'm not going to shout them out tonight because we're shouting out this fundraiser, and I'll tell you more about them next week. So I will see you all back up. We're going to go to the outro screen where it will show the donation link for a moment, and then we'll raid out to someone. We're having a little talk right now about which of our lovely friends in the community we want to do. So I will talk to you all later. Goodbye, chat.